It's Jon Mitchell, Mayor of New Bedford, and this is another installment of the Mayor's Weekly Update. So this week we had an important visitor from Washington whose responsibility is the regulation of fisheries all around the country. That was Janet Coynt, the Assistant Administrator for NOAA Fisheries, and being the biggest commercial fishing port in America, New Bedford is always a stop for someone in her position. So we hosted her this week, gave her an overview of the port with a tour by water, just so she could see it all. And then we held a roundtable with a number of fishing businesses, so she, as the representative of the federal government, could hear what's going on. And there is a lot going on in the fishing industry right now, whether it's its intersection with the offshore wind industry or the potential for further consolidation. These are all things that play themselves out in New Bedford more than any other place on the East Coast. So we had a really solid meeting with her, and we got a number of issues on the table. But you know, my job here is, as I see it, both as the mayor as well as the chair of the Port Authority, is to ensure that our biggest industry, the industry for which we are most famous, is treated fairly, and that the federal government has a deep understanding of what happens here. And I think we're fortunate with Janet Coynt in particular, because she's from Rhode Island and has a track record of working with and alongside fishermen, that we'll get a fair shake out of the federal government with her. So that's really positive news, I think, in the long run for the fishing industry, because we've had so many conflicts over the years. We've had to fight some really tough fights in order for the interests of the industry to be respected. And I think we're in many ways beyond that point. It's not that there aren't fights and advocacy to be made, but it's just that we think because of those earlier fights, the federal government has been brought around to a better position. So more to come on that, but I want to let everybody know that that's something that we certainly do not forget about. Two other things for this weekend. One is just to state the obvious: it's going to be hot. It is, in fact, it's hot already, and it's going to remain hotter. And for a lot of us, it's not that big of a deal. It's uncomfortable and whatever, but it's not a huge deal. For a lot of people, it's actually a real health risk, and especially the elderly, especially people with underlying health conditions. So we've got to all be mindful of the possibility that people can get sick, and get dehydrated and run down and worse because of the heat. So we've set up cooling centers around the city. The libraries have extended hours. The beaches, of course, the splash pads, and whatever you can do to help encourage people who may have issues to get to those cooling centers, the better. They're not always, that opportunity isn't always taken up as well as we'd like, but the bottom line is we just have to exercise common sense. Make sure people are hydrated, make sure they're not standing out in the sun for a long period of time, make sure we're taking care of pets, and especially just to look out for others who may be potentially in some degree of distress. So I think that's really all really important, especially this weekend, because this weekend, in addition to there being a heat wave, is feast weekend, and we're so pleased that the feast is back. It's been 3 years, of course, because of the pandemic, and now we're back at it. And I just really want to thank the Feast Committee for sticking with the program. Not that it would ever abandon it, but just for sort of slogging through these last couple of years. There are a lot of people. We're all really looking forward to it this year, and the feast has come so far over many years. It's really a multifaceted family event that celebrates Madeiran culture and celebrates New Bedford, and it's all at the end of the day, it's all about family, food, and a whole lot of fun. And so I look forward. I'll probably see many of you out there, but it's something that we in New Bedford are so proud to be part of, and I'm proud to support it. It's really a big part of who we are. With that, this has been the Mayor's Weekly Update. We'll see you next week.